let's get into a complete ripoff of a film. Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about a movie called Cruel Jaws, or as it was known over in Europe, Jaws 5. Cruel Jaws, yes. They were that shameless, and they were even more shameless than that, and we'll talk about that in a second. I gotta give a shout out to my buddy Dale. He bought this. There's a special edition Blu-ray out for this film through Severin Films, and he invited me over to his house Friday night. We had a couple beers, watched a few films, and this was one of them. I have heard about this film, have never seen it. As a matter of fact, from what I understand, it was kind of hard to get your hands on this film for a while, and you know why if you watch it, and we'll get into that in a second. And I want to give a shout out to Dale. If you like podcasts, especially movie podcasts, him and his buddy Chuck have a podcast called Bat and Spider. What they do is they do review one film a week. Usually they drop that on a Thursday or Friday. And on a Monday or Tuesday, they've been going through the whole series of Tales from the Crypt. They do one episode a week, and that usually drops on a Monday or Tuesday. So wherever you get your podcast, check it out. It's called Bat and Spider. Those guys are awesome. It's a lot of fun to listen to those guys talk about movies and the Tales from the Crypt franchise. And we sat down and watched this film, and I gotta say it was a blast watching it with him because he's a movie geek like myself. And every time this film shamelessly interspliced footage from Jaws or Jaws 2, we were like, holy shit, that's from Jaws. Or holy shit, that's from Jaws 2. And it does it a lot. Now, this film was a very low budget production. The director was Italian. His name was Bruno Mattei. He also went by William Snyder. But they shot this in Florida. They shot this around a place called Theater of the Sea, down around Miami near the Keys area in Florida. And they used American actors. And we watched an interview with an actor that's in this film after the movie, and he even said how the director didn't speak any English. So they had to have an interpreter on set, so there often would be a lot of miscommunication while they were trying to do scenes. And he said it could be frustrating sometimes, especially for the director. He'd be yelling and nobody knew what the hell he was saying. But now, this film was based on the premise where they already had purchased the shark footage before they went into production. That is what we're dealing with here. So they didn't really shoot any shark footage. It was pre-bought, and they ripped off other films, and that's where they got all their shark footage. There's 3 films this film really ripped off of. Jaws, there's scenes right out of Jaws cut into this film, Jaws 2, and a film called The Last Shark from 1981 starring Vic Morrow. Right out of those films. And I've never seen The Last Shark, but I've seen stills from it and some footage. Most of the effects of the shark are right out of that film, and some of the shark swimming is all stock footage of people filming sharks. That's where they got all the footage. They didn't film any of the shit themselves. It was all from other films or pre-bought footage of sharks swimming. Okay, now into the cast. Now, there's only one actor I'm going to talk about here because when he popped up on screen, me and Dale looked at each other. I'm like, he looks like freaking Hulk Hogan's brother. Just a smaller version of Hulk Hogan, but looks just like him. And his name's Richard Dew. Now, doing a little research, whipped out our phones quick. He is not related to Hulk Hogan, but he does have a connection. He used to do an impersonation. He used to be an impersonator of Hulk Hogan. He used to do work in Vegas and Atlantic City. And he also worked on a show as a stand-in for Hulk Hogan. The name of the show escapes me at the moment, but if you look on the IMDb, it comes up what the show was. And he used to do stand-in work for Hulk Hogan on that show. So that's kind of funny and kind of cool little information. Now, like I said, this movie went direct to video. I don't know if it got a theatrical release. Maybe in Europe, like I said, in Europe it was known as Jaws 5, Cruel Jaws. So they were totally ripping off Jaws right from the get-go. And basically this movie is, Richard Dew's character owns this water theme park, like a small version of SeaWorld. And this kid comes to visit him and his girlfriend, and he's like an expert. He's a marine biologist or something. And Richard Dew's character is in financial trouble by the local businessman who wants to take over his land and build a resort. And he has ties to the mafia up in New York, and so they want to put him out of business. Well, the shark shows up out of nowhere and starts eating people. Now here's the thing I'm going to tell you. When the shark attacks happen, if somebody's in the water, like one of the actors from this film, you can't see the shark anywhere, but they're flying around in the water. It's funny as hell. And they're spurting blood all over the place, but there's no shark there. You can tell there's no shark there. There's no shadow, there's nothing. They're just flailing around in the water and there's nothing there. And then they intersplice it with scenes right out of Jaws, footage right out of Jaws 1, Jaws 2, and the movie The Last Shark. Matter of fact, most of the effects in this film are right out of The Last Shark. They didn't film anything of that thing. They filmed the actor in the water, but there was no shark there. It was all from another film. It's so shameless of what they did with this film. And they shoot a lot of night for days, which means they shoot during the day and try to make it look like night, and it doesn't look good at all. You could tell they're shooting during the day. It doesn't look good at all. And with the other footage from the other films, looks like they don't even try to match it. It just doesn't work. But it's funny as hell. And at the end of the film, the shark attacks a regatta. It's hilarious. And then at the end, they got to blow it up. They think it's hanging out. A shark is like using this wrecked ship at the bottom of the ocean as a home, and they go down and they blow it up. It makes no sense at all. And they end up coming to the conclusion this shark was developed by the Navy. It comes out of nowhere. It doesn't make any sense. And it's just a complete ripoff of better films. But you can have a lot of fun with it. I had a blast watching this with Dale. It's cheesy as hell. The acting is not the greatest. Obviously, they shamelessly cut in footage right from Jaws 2, and The Last Shark. They even use musical cues from Jaws in the score, and they use a little musical cues from Star Wars. I'm like, how did this film get made? How did not Universal sue the shit out of them? But I guess there was some lawsuits later on. As a matter of fact, I did some research. I guess Scream Factory was going to release this about 4 years ago on a double disc with another film, and they couldn't because of rights issues. Well, apparently Severin Films figured that out, and they released it on a special edition Blu-ray you can get on Amazon. I don't know if it's available on digital anywhere. It may be. I didn't look into it all that much. I know there's a deep Blu-ray available. This movie is not a good film. I can't say that. But I had a blast watching it with Dale. We made fun of it. Every time a Jaws scene would show up, we were like, holy shit. Or they would lift straight up dialogue out of Jaws, and the character in this film would say it. Like the marine biologist in this film, at least twice I think, they had him say the dialogue right out of Matt Hooper's mouth from Jaws. I was like, holy shit, that's from Jaws. Exactly what Matt Hooper said in Jaws. So yeah, they were very shameless when they made this film by far. It's a total ripoff, but you can have fun and make fun of it. We had a couple beers, we had a blast watching it and just tearing it apart. So just on that, I would give it a 5 out of 10. It's not a good film, and I've reviewed better 5 out of 10 films. But I'm going off the fun factor here. I had a blast watching it with my friend, and we made fun of it, and it was just glorious in its cheesiness and its shittiness. So yes, 5 out of 10 for Cruel Jaws, or Jaws 5 as it's known in Europe. Have you ever seen this film? Leave a comment down below, let me know. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this video, I greatly appreciate it. I will be back next with a Sleepy Hollow review, one of my favorite Halloween type of films. And I hope everyone's doing well out there. I'll be back soon. Have a great day.